we send out our condolences to TC, family, friends, and of course, we'll let you know about the funeral arrangements. So he has taken some time off, which is, we understand, and we give him all the support at this time, and we ask God to lift, because it's when you have to face death, especially when it's somebody that's very close and dear to you, it's a very fragile time, and you become very sensitive, and it's something that's you have to handle in a very delicate way, all right, because it's a lot of emotions, detachment, and many things. So at this time we lend all the support that we can, all right. With that, let's go to our quote for today, coming to us with the kind compliments of Fab India Expo. Don't ruin what you have by wishing for something you'll never have. Remember that what you have now was once one of the things you wished for. I'm going to read this again. Thank you, Andrew. And normally my director is the one that will choose the quote of today. I leave that in his hands. Don't ruin what you have by wishing for something you'll never have. Remember that what you have now was once one of the things you wished for. That perhaps is today. So, don't ruin things in life. Be grateful for what you have. Be thankful for what you have. And you should never limit yourself. Always think out of the box. This morning I had a conversation with a giant, a gentleman whom I have a great respect for, and he was giving me some solid advice. He's a very successful businessman, and he gave me some very solid advice, and and you really sometimes just need that intervention of somebody igniting a flame or looking at things at a different perspective and thinking in a different direction that will perhaps place you in direction you need to be. So sometimes it's also about thinking outside and don't set limitations. Explore options as well, Thank you so much for that. Let's go to the ad, Fab India Expo. And when we return, we start our conversation today.
Still haven't made it to the Fab India Expo? This is your last chance. The countdown is on and the final week is here. Massive sale? Oh yeah. From authentic Indian fashion, stunning home decor, sparkling jewelry, festive footwear, and so much more. All at unbeatable prices. We're open every day from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. but only for one more week. Come experience the magic, feel the culture, and stock up before we go, because we won't be back until Diwali. Extended just in time for Raksha Bandhan until August 11. Don't miss out. Fab India Expo, located opposite Medford gas station in Chaguanas, closing soon.
So much for choosing us here on Real TV. To all of our local, regional, international viewers, I want to also remind you that you can download the Tego app and look at us real time on Real TV, all right? So tell your friends, tell your family members. All you have to do is download the app, Tego app, on your phone, and you'll see Real TV in real time, and you could please tell your friends and family, like and share. That's what we need to do, because our information is really very powerful. And my friends, I always say to you, knowledge is power. All right, when you have knowledge of things, you make better decisions, and when you make better decisions, you have a better tomorrow, a better future, not just for ourselves, but for our children and grandchildren as well. That's the fact, yeah? So let me say good morning and a very warm welcome to Mr. Chankar Ramtahal, Social Welfare Advisor. Mr. Ramtahal himself is a strength, a force to be reckoned with. Mr. Ramtahal served this land for many years, all right? So he's been there, done that. So he has the experience and he has the knowledge. And with that, he is certainly a great teacher for us. And he's quite dynamic in helping people, all right? So Mr. Ramtahal, good morning and nice having you with us as always, as you always continue to impart your knowledge so that, a lot of people who are struggling, who are having difficulties right now know that they could go to the social welfare offices and get some sort of help. It may not be a large amount of money, but it will help some where even if not just for the grant, sometimes just knowing about the gap, that you could get somebody to come home and help you, and so many other things that were put into place by the authorities to help those in need. All right, so welcome, nice to have you again with us today. I know that we are going to continue to talk about the general assistance grants and the grants that are available at social welfare. I want to remind you, I get a lot of messages after the program for questions, so you have to remember during the program is when you have to send your messages. You can WhatsApp 3847142, it's on the television screen there, or you can call us 744-7325. Just call 744-7325, and you know, Mr. Ramtahal will be more than happy to give you the information that you need or you so desire when it comes to social welfare and grants. Don't hesitate. When I used to lecture, you know, I used to tell as I go in the class, I would say there's no question that's a stupid question because you are seeking an answer. So ask and you shall receive, and the beauty is so many other people will get the information as well. All right? So just wanted to share that before we start the show. Welcome again, sir. And today we are talking about the grants that are available.
Thank you very much, Al.
You're welcome.
And, as usual, it's my pleasure to be here to share whatever information I have to the benefit of our needy population.
Thank you.
You know, because it is said that if you have knowledge and you do not share it, it benefits no one.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and then if we have certain grants that are available to our population, once you qualify, you know, you could be assisted in some form or the other.
Great.
You know, because we know, for example, we have a lot of citizens who are facing difficult situations.
Correct.
You know, and we can assist them from time to time.
Excellent.
All right? Now, our population is quite aware of the three popular grants, which is the old age pension grant, the disability grant, and the public assistance grant. But we have a series of other grants listed under the general assistance grants that are available to our population. You know, those who would qualify, you know, you can apply and investigations would be done and you could be assisted with whatever your need is, all right? Now, these grants are funded under the general assistance grants. They are listed under the general assistance grants. And they include a clothing grant, a domestic grant, a funeral grant, a medical equipment grant, a grant to enable you to get a prosthetic, a school supplies grant, a dietary grant, an education grant, household item grant, a pharmaceutical grant, a rental assistance grant, and a special child grant. So all these additional grants that are available to the public who so qualifies. All right?
Great.
So they are listed as the general assistance grants, and as I mentioned before, the more popular ones are the old age pension grant, the public assistance grant, and the disability grants.
Okay, excellent.
But these are auxiliary grants that are there to support and assist our needy population.
Great. So if you are out there and you now know that these grants are available and you want to find out more of which one could work for you, then you are welcome to call in during the program, ask your question, and Mr. Ramtahal will be happy to guide you. Let me say a very good morning, blessed good morning to my two beautiful people as always locked on and listening. Have a blessed day. Rosalind, a blessed day to you as well, darling. God bless you and your family, and thanks for reaching out, all right? And to all those near and far, local, regional, international, thank you so much for choosing us. Let me say a very good morning to those in Canada, from the Caribbean, you know, Showtime Television in Canada, that always view the program and always send nice remarks as well. Thank you so much for choosing us. Let's go to these important messages. When we return, we continue with our conversation with Mr. Chanka Ramtahal. And, you know, you're free to call in, converse. Let's share ideas. Let's go to these important messages. Stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, My name is Richie Bansraj, and I'm here to introduce you to Rise Up, the voice of men and youth. Now, who am I? I am the Caribbean ambassador for the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Men and Boys. I'm also the global ambassador for World Day of the Boy Child. I'm also the High Commissioner for International Men's Day. So this show is going to encompass discussion around positive asset-based youth development. We want to hear the voices of the youth. So we want to portray all of these issues and find solutions. Same goes for issues that are faced by our men and boys in society. We also want to highlight those issues, highlight the good and highlight the bad that our men and boys face in Trinidad and Tobago society. So, Rise Up, the voice of men and youth, is coming soon to Real TV.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jonathan Barron. Join me right here on Real TV every Friday during our 6 o'clock major news. I'll be bringing you updates and market insights to wrap up your week. Don't miss it right here on Real TV.
Welcome to Real TV, where real stories come to life. We bring you the latest news, breaking headlines, and the stories that matter most. Need lifestyle tips? We've got those too, from wellness to daily hacks that make life better. Stay informed, stay inspired, and most of all, let your voice be heard. Real TV connects you to the world's knowledge anytime, anywhere. So check out our YouTube channel today, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We invite you to join us on YouTube at RealTV-TNT. You can also view our channel on your local cable networks.
We are the leaders of Marriage of Marriages Ministry. I am Apostle Joel Barrett.
I am Shaman Barrett.
We are inviting you to join us for the program Back to Eden every Tuesday at 2 p.m., 3 p.m. with repeats. Let's return to the foundation of perfect love through dynamic topics of healthy marriages, relationships, love, and truth. Come, walk with us in perfect love.
Join us on Real TV.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zalisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you. In conversation this morning with Mr. Chankar Ramtal, who's a social welfare advisor, and of course sharing information with those who really need to understand how they can get help when it comes to social welfare. Now, Mr. Ramtal, we're on vacation, our children are on vacation, but school is going to be reopened in about a month's time. They've got a week, I was told, by extension. Why, I don't know. But anyway, the point I'd like to bring across and to ask is, especially for those who are struggling, single parents, and those that are really struggling, how can they get some sort of assistance? Now, you talk about a clothing grant and things like that, but perhaps you could let us know more about those that need to get assistance for school uniforms and school supplies and things like that. Yeah?
Yes. Well, I'm happy to inform of the public of the various grants that are available.
Okay, great.
Right. Now, it must be noted from the beginning, the social welfare division is that part of the ministry that assists the less fortunate in society.
Right.
All right? So that to qualify for these grants, investigations must be made to indicate whether or not you qualify.
Right.
And if you qualify, you'll be adequately assisted in, in whatever areas, there is delinquents, right? So this program offers a range of grants to citizens and legal residents who are in dire need of temporary assistance.
Right.
Except in instances of disasters, all applicants must pass the standard means test.
Right.
So it is not for everyone. It is for the less fortunate
Right.
in society, those who would pass the standard means test.
And we
Right.
understand and appreciate that, and hope people will understand that when you apply, you're going to be asked questions to see if you qualify or not, whether you're truthful or you're not truthful.
It is not a free-for-all.
Right.
All right?
We understand and establish that it's for those in need, and there really are people genuinely need
That's
help.
right. Who qualifies? To qualify, applicants must be vulnerable persons in crisis and emergency situations, and victims of natural or man-made disasters.
Right. So flooding,
That's right.
earthquakes, a fire.
That's right.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Items funded under the General Assistance Grants include a clothing grant. All right? There could be a setback by flooding
Good.
or fire
Right.
or things like that.
Natural disasters.
Disasters.
Okay, understood.
So citizens can benefit from a clothing grant. You can also assist from a domestic grant, help, right? Which I will explain a little
Please,
further on. Yes.
correct.
Then you can benefit from a funeral grant,
Okay.
medical equipment grant. Those who are, cannot move around.
You need a
perfectly.
wheelchair.
That's right.
Right.
You need crutches, and other things like that, which I will explain as I go
Very
along.
good.
School supplies grant. Your children's school supplies can be damaged through flooding or some other mishap.
Now, let me ask here. You say school supplies, natural disasters, you could qualify to help with school supplies.
Right.
My question, as I asked earlier on, would be for those in a compromised situation, single mothers, parents who are struggling without work, school is going to be reopened in a month's time. Can people in such situations, they don't have the funds, they don't have a job, they don't even know where their next meal is coming from. I would have said this. How can they now get help to send their children to school when it comes to school supplies, uniforms?
Yes. Well, what has to be done, and I think some form of communication must go around to these regional offices so that they will make consideration, they will give consideration to cases like these. You understand? Sometimes we have to bend a little backwards to assess our senior citizens because they might be in dire situations, and we need to help them because educating children is one way of getting out of poverty.
Of course, it is important that
That's right.
every child deserves the right to an education. And some parents I'm not making excuses, but the fact is they may be in compromised situations
That's right.
and they simply can't. There are lots of children that don't go to school, and why they don't go to school? Because the parents cannot afford to send them to school. I've said it before. There are children and parents that depend on the school feeding program for food for their children when they go to school because that's the meal they're sure they're going to get, a breakfast and a lunch.
That's right. And I was about to mention that, Zal. We don't know people's situation. There's a lot of poverty out there,
Well, I saw it
But as-
firsthand when we
that's
gave
right.
out food for flooding
Exactly.
and things like that. I'm
Exactly.
aware. You see it and you ask yourself, is this Trinidad and Tobago?
Tobago.
Are we really living in these times and these people are living in such situations, Still have a latrine or a bathroom outside. They have a galvanized shed. I've seen it. It's happening. We're not making these things up. This is how people live still in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah. And although we are a charitable population, I could
We
tell you
are
generally
very
we
much so. Very much
there are
so.
still very needy families. There are a lot of families still in dire need and would, could do with some assistance. And it's supported by government. And I mean, we have a lot of private citizens who do their own form of charity as well.
Correct.
All right.
A lot of very good people who really give A lot of NGOs who are working beyond, you know, trying to get help in terms of school
Yes.
supplies and so much more as well. Correct.
So we would commence with the clothing grant.
Good.
The requirement for the clothing grant is the person must have an ID card, an estimate from the supplier, and if there was a disaster like fire or flood or something, a report from the police.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in here. A report from the police and things like that. There are cases where women are in situations when it comes to domestic violence. And so their husband, for whatever reason, whatever drug or substances they're on, or they take God out of their thoughts and they burn up the woman's clothes or take her scissors and cut up all her clothes and all the children. These are real situations and these are lifestyles that some people are in. So if someone, I'm asking now, in such a situation where there is a police report, maybe they have some pictures or some kind of video, you know, now we have this device that could really help us in terms of or cameras. A lot of people have cameras in their homes or environment, and so you have evidence, first-hand evidence.
That's right.
Would that be substantial enough now to go and say, look, I'm in a compromised situation, my husband is drinking or he's, you know, under the influence, whatever it is, you know, I don't feel safe. I know that there's a place where, in terms of housing, they do assist with that. And then now, if you have a case where all your clothes, you know, for whatever reason, you could probably apply that will help. Would that, yes?
That could be a successful case. Once a report is done, indicating the true picture of the family and the hardship that is being faced.
Yeah.
Because government has set aside that funding to assist these families.
Yeah.
Because there are numerous families like those, you know, and that's why government has set aside these fundings and these grants to make available to families like those.
Those in need, genuine need.
That's right. You understand? So, under the clothing grant, this grant provides assistance to victims of disaster to purchase essential items of clothing. This grant is limited to the number of persons living in the home, and it also provides for persons who are affected by flooding and other natural disasters. And at this time, the maximum of the clothing grant is $1,000 per family, per person in the family.
So you have mother, father, 2 children. That's $4,000.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Well, I think $4,000 could buy a lot of clothes.
yes, we have to learn to be thrifty.
Exactly. Be
Yes.
wise. You
We
don't.
can't be
You can't be in
extravagant.
trouble and want a jacket for $4,000,
Exactly.
or $400 rather.
All right.
Or there are jackets for $4,000.
So the maximum for the clothing grant is $1,000 per person in the family.
Okay.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
So that we cover the clothing grant there. Then we have the dietary grant. Okay? This grant assists clients who suffer illnesses which require special diets. For example, renal patients and clients with uncontrolled diabetes. Okay? It is only offered where the person has to purchase food and other such items that are outside of what you would normally buy and where they are unable to meet the cost of these items. So the dietary grant is a special grant offered to our citizens who would need a special diet because of some medical condition.
Okay, so we're looking at some diabetics. They need a
Yes.
certain, yeah.
Right. So, you know, so there are cases, you know, where a person might be getting something, some form of assistance. but
Cancer,
needs-
hypertension,
That's right.
diabetes, all those health challenges that you're facing and you need a special diet, they can assist. It
Right.
means you can qualify.
And that grant is $600 per month per person. Okay?
$600?
Dollars per month.
Okay.
That because it is a special diet you need.
Okay. So if someone is receiving old age pension and they've got a health concern, right? Can they also apply for that special grant?
Excellent situation as well. Excellent. They can.
Well, that's good news for
They
you all.
can.
Yeah.
Because old age pension by itself is aimed at your upkeep, maintaining your upkeep in terms of food and things like that. But then there's this situation where you have a special medical condition that requires a special diet. So that would come in there.
Good. Mr. Ramtahal, I have seen and I know firsthand of cases where, when we say once a man, twice a child, I've seen it. And there are genuine cases where people are really sick and they need help. And they are on special diets or they need someone to attend to them, be around the clock, because they can't cook, they can't bath themselves, they can't take care of themselves, and so they really depend on the pension. That's the only source of income that they have to manage their bills, to manage their food, to manage everything, including sometimes their children and grandchildren. That's a fact, all right? And so that's why it's important that you know and you understand that there are grants out there that you can qualify that will help you, all right? But they can only help you when you in situations where, for instance, when we come back after this break, I'll talk to you. I think I spoke to you about it last week, a family that I interviewed, and their situation. Yeah, this is a program, Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower, and answer those unanswered questions. Let's go to these important messages. Stay with us.
Peppy's Nature's Pride saves you money.
1 pack of Peppy's Nature's Pride peas or beans gives you the same amount as 3.5 cans of peas or beans. You get so much more value and nutrition for so much less money when you use Peppy's Nature's Pride.
When it comes to peas and a wide range of beans, reach for the drive. Peppy's Nature's Pride.
Available nationwide.
Yes, people, you have been waiting with bated breath and you have been asking. The Future of Talk is back with yours truly, Heavy Duty, and my co-host,
TC, and we are live on Real TV from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. every afternoon, Monday to Friday.
Yes, you heard it, Real TV, right here. Yours truly, Heavy Duty and TC. The Future of Talk is back.
Yeah.
Right?
A pleasant good day to one and all. I am Pastor John Arjun, pastor and founder of Passion for His Presence Ministries. I am so happy and delighted that you could join me here on Real TV every Sunday morning at 7 for the inspirational program, Breakfast and Bible. I am so happy and delighted also to come into your homes, to come into your television sets on Sunday mornings at 7 for the program Breakfast and Bible on Real TV.
Hi, I'm Malika. Do you love stories? Me too! Come join me and my friends for story time with Malika and friends. We read cool stories about princesses, pirates, animals, and even silly monsters. Every story is fun and exciting. And guess what? Sometimes my friends help me to tell them. So grab your favorite toy and get ready to listen, laugh, and maybe even dance a little. Story time with Malika and friends, where every story is super special, right here on Real TV. See you soon. Bye.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zelisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you. We continue to inform, educate, empower and answer those unanswered questions. Today I'm in conversation with Mr. Chankar Ramtal, Social Welfare Advisor, and he's here to share assistance, all right? So remember to like and share and tell your friends and family. Knowledge is power, yeah? Welcome back, Mr. Ramtal.
Thank you very much.
Prior to the break, I did speak to you about, talking about a certain interview that I had with a lady and her son. He had to give up his job to take care of his mother, and I really applaud him for doing that, because a young boy, but having to bath his mom, having to change pampers, having to cook, having to do things like that. Now, they did apply to social welfare, and authorities from there did go to their home. The problem is the house is in such a deplorable situation that number one is they can't get somebody to come as an aid, as a gap problem. You could bring somebody to come and assist, because it's not safe for that person. It's not even safe for them to live in. And then the house that they need some sort of assistance with repairs, they do not have the deed. So obviously you understand why they can't move forward. So they're, pleading for citizens to assist and to help in such a situation. What other grants they can apply for? Because she's getting her old age pension, which they're grateful for, because that is what is running the entire home, buying their food and medication and things like that. What other grants in such a situation they can apply for? People in that scenario.
Okay. Well, let us deal with the home condition.
Right.
To access any form of assistance, you must have security of tenure, meaning you must have legal permission to be occupying the land.
Right. So I want to establish this as we go along.
Yes.
So if you're renting, if you stayed in a room in your children's home, or wherever it may not be your children, who might be a neighbor, because they're children that abandon their parents, when they take God out of their thoughts, they get so caught up in the material world and whatever, they neglect their parents. So, so they are good neighbors, good friends, good family that would say, okay, come and stay, or build a room for them kind of thing. It means you cannot qualify. I just wanted to establish that so people will understand what you're talking about and how serious it is. So if it's your home and or where you live and you don't have the deed, you can't get help.
And the rationale is, government would not want, or authorities would not want to know that they are expending money to assist you, only to have the property demolished in 2 or 3 weeks' time, because you do not have the legal permission to occupy that property.
Right. So let us just say somebody say to someone, look, I know you have no place to live. Put up a little something, a little board, something, that's what they could afford. And it's in a deplorable situation. Can they then get consent from the owners of the land or the a house to get that assistance?
That is totally different. And if that is available, you can, once you get legal permission,
right,
or permission from the legal person
right,
in charge of that, then
good,
you can surely...
So good. Once you could get the owner of the property and the house to say, yes, we give authorization to allow this person to fix or to repair, whatever the case is, then you may qualify. It's a good avenue, right?
And that grant is available from the Self-Help Commission.
Good. So now you know. Great. Thank you, Mr. Ramtahal.
Yes. All right. Then we have the domestic help. This grant facilitates the provision of a part-time domestic help for 3 months in the first instance, but not more than 6 months if deemed necessary.
Right.
To clients who are unable to perform normal household chores, for example, whilst recuperating from surgery or unable to afford the cost of domestic assistance.
Right. And that's awesome. When I first
is,
found out about
yes.
that, I thought, but this is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a service that people in Australia receive.
Yes.
You follow what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so it's excellent. It's a brilliant and a wonderful initiative. So if you just had surgery and you have nobody to help take care of you, to bath you, to cook for you, to change you, you can qualify for that service, which I think is simply awesome. I applaud the authorities for putting that initiative in. Great.
And the requirements for the domestic help is an ID card of the caregiver, the birth certificate, the letter from the caregiver stating willingness to provide the service supporting a medical report.
Excellent.
All right.
Brilliant. Great.
So, you know, so this grant is also available for you. Then you have the education grant, which is this grant is only issued to clients in receipt of public assistance where there is a child attending secondary school. Oh, okay?
So let's talk more about this. This becomes of great interest.
Any special needs associated with school attendance where government agencies are not already providing such attendance, such needs must be verified. Okay? It's an education grant. It is issued to clients in receipt of public assistance where there is a child attending secondary school.
So for
the
secondary school students,
that's
excellent.
right.
Let's.
So the parents are unable to provide the necessary funding to get the books that are needed by the child involved.
Nice. What's the amount for that grant?
That is the grant is $1,800 minimum 3 months.
So you get that for 3 months.
Yeah.
That is excellent.
And-
$1,800 minimum.
And maximum of 6 months.
Brilliant. I like this as well because there are lots of single parents, especially mothers, who
Oh, yeah,
struggling,
single mothers.
and it's
That's right.
really hard. So now that you know, and if those ladies are at work and you know you're a mother, you're an aunt, you're a sister, whatever, and you're looking at the show, please tell them about it so it could help them to get help for their children. Knowledge is power, and education is their gateway to the world. It sets a solid foundation that could really empower a child, all right? Don't deny a child of his or her educational right to be educated.
And Sal, you know what is ironic in some cases? The poorer family has more children than the richer family. You understand?
Yeah, it
Yes.
happens. It's reality.
Yeah. So that is the case. And then, of course, we have the funeral grant that is available to our citizens.
Right.
Okay? This grant is paid to the funeral agency to cover the cost of the funeral. It is intended to assist in the burial of deceased persons who have no one willing or financially able to undertake the cost of the burial. It can be issued to needy families of the deceased in 2 ways, either through a burial order. In this instance, before the funeral takes place and accompanied by the appropriate documents to support the claims, for example, death certificate, funeral home estimate, etc., the total cost of the funeral must not exceed $7,000. So there's a burial order where the Social Welfare Division will issue an order to a funeral agent to undertake the funeral, and they would bear the cost of it.
Very good.
All right.
And we did discuss this last week.
To the tune of $7,000.
$7,000, and we
Right.
gave details of that.
Yes.
Great.
And I may want to touch on the burial assistance from the National Insurance Board. Once the person would have made at least 25, which is a steal of a deal.
So it definitely is.
Once the person would have made at least 25 contributions, and that is weekly contributions, so that once you make that 25 contributions, you will qualify for a grant of $7,500 from the National Insurance Board.
Now we have to remind you, national insurance is something you pay
Contribute
towards,
to,
you
yes.
invest. That's yours. So that's an investment you make. Once you've made 25 contributions, you are qualified to get that 7,500. And it doesn't matter where you're living in the world, you get that. It goes to your bank account. That is, and so it's different. When we talk about social welfare, it's completely different, all right? This is a program, Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower, answer those unanswered questions. I'm in conversation with Mr. Chankar Ramtahal, Social Welfare Advisor. Let's now go to these important messages. When we return, we continue our conversation. Stay with us.
Hello everyone, I am Terence Brown, and I'm bringing you a new program called Victorious Lifestyle.
Still haven't made it to the Fab India Expo? This is your last chance. The countdown is on and the final week is here. Massive sale, oh yeah. From authentic Indian fashion, stunning home decor, sparkling jewelry, festive footwear and so much more. All at unbeatable prices. We're open every day from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. but only for one more week. Come experience the magic, feel the culture and stock up before we go. Because we won't be back until Diwali. Extended just in time for Raksha Bandhan. Until August 11. Don't miss out. Fab India Expo, located opposite Medford Gas Station in Shogunas. Closing soon.
Hello everyone, I am Terence Brown, and I'm bringing you a new program called Victorious Lifestyle on Real TV. This program is about dealing with all the problems that we may have through demon possession, family conflict. If you're in need of counseling, if you are confused and anxiety is stepping in about what is happening in the world today, we are dealing with Bible prophecy. This is a program of hope, a program of power, a program of peace. It is Victorious Lifestyle every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. God bless you.
Looking for music that moves your heart and captivates your soul? Real Radio sets the mood, where sound becomes emotion and every moment pulses with real rhythm. From the hits you love to the voices that speak truth. It's real facts, real talk, real music. Listen live at realtv.radiostream321.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is my supreme and extraordinary pleasure to invite you to join us on Real TV every Wednesday at 2 p.m. for this special, spectacular program called Inspired. We will bring hope to the hopeless, joy to the sorrowful. We will bring satisfaction to those who are depressed and anxious. You just can't afford to miss it. And you have to tell your family members, your friends, and your enemies that every Wednesday at 2 p.m. on Real TV, we have real inspiration. The title of the program is Inspired. See you there.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zelisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you. It's Wednesday, let me remind you, and of course Pastor Doughton is on today on his program Inspired. So you'll be totally inspired. So remember to stick and stay with us, all right? Gentle reminder as well that, we also simulcast on Real Radio. And to listen to Real Radio, remember it's realtv.radiostream321.com. All right? Let me repeat that so you could log on and listen. realtv.radiostream321.com, and you can also listen to fantastic, absolutely beautiful music and great programming as well, because we simulcast all of our shows. Also, a gentle reminder to check us out. Download the Tego app so you could watch us at any time, real time, here, locally, regionally, internationally. All right, so that's certainly a plus as we continue to grow from strength to strength, and as we continue to add when it comes to ultimate in programming, great programs that would just help you to excel, help you to make better choices. Knowledge is power, and that's what we're all about here at Real TV. Welcome back to Mr. Chankar Ramtahal, Social Welfare Advisor, and he's here to share his wealth of knowledge with us when it comes to social welfare. Welcome back, Mr. Ramtahal.
Thank you very much, Zal. We also have the offer of household items to citizens. This grant can be accessed by needy persons and by those who are victims of man-made or natural disasters to purchase household items such as stove, refrigerators and furniture items. Okay? It can be accessed only once in a 3-year period. All right? This grant must be amended in instances of catastrophic damages, which is a little different.
Well, you know, Mr. Ramtahal, when you talk about only in 3-year periods, there are people year after year after year in our rainy season that face severe flooding and they lose everything.
So true, so true, so true. All right. So a means test is done to ascertain, the level of damage and so on, and then they will be assisted.
And let me also say this, I'm jumping in again, because a stove 5 years ago and now, or a refrigerator or furniture, it's not the same.
Oh, and I usually do this as I call on the authorities to review the quantum of these payments, because these payments are more than 6 years old. And prices have increased rapidly and tremendously on most of these items. So what 5,000 could have bought some years ago, that might be costing $8,000, $9,000, $10,000.
Yes, very correct. You're very, very, very correct.
I would like the authorities to please review the quantum of these payments.
Absolutely correct. Even the grocery, when you have to face the groceries no longer. And yes, there are deals. We can't deny that. But the deals are not for the healthy foods. Let's face it. So some people are faced. That's what they could afford and that's what they could cook. So like Pepe's are saying, you saw that you could, rather than buy a tin, buy a pack of peas and how much more you get.
That's right.
And eat healthy and wise. So shop wise as well. Be smart about what you do. And you can, the vegetables and fruits that are in season, that's what you have. Buy it, and have it. Don't live beyond. I keep telling people, don't live beyond your means. What if you have $20, budget that $20.
Put it to good use.
Good use. Be smart.
Do not buy alcohol or
and
cigarettes.
Exactly. You're killing yourself. You're killing the people around you. It takes away from you. It's yours. You could spend it as you choose. But be wise, especially if you have commitments with family, your children, your spouse,
We also have a grant, a medical equipment grant, with a maximum of $7,500. Under this grant, needy persons can qualify for wheelchairs, commodes, special beds, dentures, and things like that.
Great. And that will go a long way. Dentures also, if I visited the dentist, is so expensive. But the point is, I also want to tell you, I've been told that those, the units that they have in terms of the health care in your area are very successful if you join it. The
Yes.
clinics, the
Oh,
health
yeah.
clinics
Oh,
in
yeah.
your area. If you join it in your community, I'm told that they do have a lot of services. So perhaps rather than go to the hospital, you could explore that option of going to your community health center. Because I'm told that they're very successful and they run very well. I got feedback from people
Yes.
in different areas who said that they're part of it. They've joined it, and so they get their teeth clean and they go to the diabetic. You know, they have different days for different health
Service.
concerns, exactly different services. And that's something I think you should also explore, you know?
Yeah. One thing, Zal, I would like to point out. We have one or two misfits in the service that give the wrong impression. You understand?
Yeah.
They do not treat you nicely, you know, and things that you might qualify for, they're not willing to do, you know, to advise you on it. They see helping you as too extra work, but that's what you're there for. You're there to, you are employed there to assist a person or family as best as possible.
Correct.
Because the government is have these services available to assist our citizens.
You're very correct.
Yes.
And they deserve respect and regard, not because they are compromised and they're coming to the to your office. Social welfare means you need to treat them less than who they are. They're coming there because they need help, all right? And you need to have some respect and regard. They're coming there because they're, whatever the situation that they are in is compromised, and that's why you did not put that in place for them. The government did. The authorities did. And you are supposed to be doing your job the right way. At least have a little smile. At least have some courtesy, a little understanding. That when somebody that come there that is an elderly for the pension or to find out about the pension, they're 65 years old. They must have some sort of health concern. You know, and you need to treat them with a little respect and regard.
When I was a supervisor, I would advise all my officers. In fact, I would use the Friday afternoon as a training ground.
Of course, have little training. It should never stop.
Exactly. What did you encounter that you couldn't handle properly, or what you suggest, and get ideas from them as well. You understand? Firstly, there are some officers who are total misfits.
Yeah, and we
I am
understand
telling you that.
I'm happy that you could identify
I
that
am
and you,
telling
and,
you
you,
that.
and you know that.
Yes.
But I will also say this to you, Mr. Ramtal. You have a very good relationship with Ms. Vandana, right?
Yes.
And I feel these are things that you could bring to the forefront,
yeah.
that you could identify, because you know, you understand, been there, done that, and you are also, because the public still connect with you.
Yes.
And so you still know what the problems are and the hardships that our people are facing. And you could be the voice, the instrument to help us, to help our people, all right?
And I worked in every office in Trinidad except Siparia.
Yeah.
I worked Rio Claro.
Yeah.
I worked Point 14. We at that time we had paymasters coming out to every month
Yeah.
come to pay
Yeah.
our recipients. You understand? So I have been around.
So I am asking you on national television to step up for our people,
Yeah.
and highlight, as much as we love to highlight the positive things, if we don't highlight the negative things, we can't fix it. If we don't
Exactly.
get to the
Exactly.
root of the problem, we can't find a solution. So I am asking you on behalf of all of our people out there, you know, be the voice that we need to get that intervention, to fix things. I want to thank you kindly, sir, for always being here, being so committed to informing and educating our public, sharing your wealth of knowledge and the experiences that you've had, and you still have, because
Yes.
people still
That's-
call you, knock on your door to help. Guide, before we wrap things up, could you kindly share your contact number in the event people just need some sort of guidance, please?
My telephone number is 753-5264. 753-5264. All
Mr.
right?
Ramtahal, sir, I want to thank you again for all that you do and you continue to do. And may God continue to bless you richly. And we shall see you with the grace and blessings of God next Wednesday. Thank you kindly. God bless. Be safe, be good, be happy. See you soon. My dear friends, this is where we're going to wrap things up for today. I want to remind you to be good, law-abiding citizens, do what is right at all times. You know, and of course, here's reminding you that with God, all things are possible. Thank you kindly for choosing us here on Real TV, Real Radio. Remember to tell your friends and family, like and subscribe, share the information. Real Radio is as real as it can be, and Real TV as we continue to transform lives. Keep smiling, be positive, know the best is yet to come. Always know that with God, all things are possible. I am Zalisa Budu Singh Rupani. Be safe, be happy. Thanks for choosing us. See you tomorrow.